Okay, so good evening again, my dear students. So we are now in the second topic covered for the pre-finals, and this is the food and hunger. Now, very relevant topic because the first topic that we had was population. So this time, this is focusing more on the food. And how population, number of individuals may affect food food number, okay, or food conservation. So we will discuss here starvation. What is starvation? Discuss the status of Filipinos regarding malnutrition and explain how the problem of hunger is associated with the problem of poverty in relation to politics. So, like we know, humans need food for survival. But honestly, it's not only food, di ba? Pwedeng shelter, pwedeng clothing. All of these three are needed by anyone in order for him or her to survive. Only this time we will try to focus our attention with food. Now, sabi dito, people are heterotrophs, meaning humans is not capable of creating its own food. Okay? Be, it must, in order for humans to come up with food, dapat may help, no? Merong other factor to be involved in order for humans to come up with food. Now, with the increase in population, many people are starving, of course. Ano ba pagkakaiba ng starving sa hunger? In hunger, gutom ka lang. In starvation, tag-gutom. Gutom. Diba? Mas marami ang hindi nakakakain. Yung isa, hindi ka lang nakakain. Isa, hindi ka na nakakakain. Okay, so starving. Mas malala, no? Now, sabi dito, the rural poor, yung mga may hirap na tao na nasa mga probinsya, have less political power and they have no voice in the society. So their problems are not addressed by the government. Kung ikaw ay nasa mga lugar na ito, ang liit ng chance mo para ikaw ay pakinggan. No? And that's true. Kaya ang tendency ng mga tao sa probinsya is to come up with their own ways and means how they will come up with their own food. Kaya tingnan nyo, pag nasa probinsya, no, mas nandun sila sa konsepto ng tanim ng tanim, kasi naniniwala silang that is the only way for them to have something to eat. So next. Now, starvation means death from lack of food, 'di ba? Dahil wala ka nang makain, patay. Pwede ka mamatay. But most people who are inadequately fed do not actually die. So ito, namatay ka kasi wala kang makain. Pero dun sa mga tao na kahit naman papaano nakakakain, no? Kahit papaano nakakakain, they will not automatically die. But they will kumbaga may mawawala sa kanila that will help them to proceed, no, para masustain nila yung buhay nila. Now the problem is that merely obtaining enough calories here is energy, but maintaining a balanced diet. Now, one that contains a mixture of macronutrients needed to keep the body healthy. So, ibig sabihin, it's not just meron kang energy, no, to survive. It's not just you need energy, you have the energy to move on. Hindi lang ganoon para mabuhay ang tao. Kailangan mo pa rin ng iba-ibang mga nutrients katulad ng later, sasabihin ko ng mga nutrients na macro and micro para ikaw ay mabuhay. And they are supposed to be balanced. When we say balance in the food context, hindi yung kailangang equal. Ibig sabihin, everything is present in right amount. Diba? And in the appreciable amount. Now, kapag nagkaroon ng disturbance sa appreciable amount, nagbago, either tumaas or bumaba, Kailangan mo lang 50, pero nagkaroon ka ng 60, nagkaroon ka ng 40, meaning you are now having what we call imbalanced nutrients. So, magkakaroon ka na ng tinatawag na malnourishment. At pag sinabi nating malnourished, another way of saying bad nutrition. So, hindi kailangan payat para masabing malnourished. Hindi naman kailangan mataba para masabing good nourished. Basta anything that is beyond or below the standard health, then that is classified as malnourished. Now, so this is in general, hunger and its incidence in various parts of the world are determined by political considerations. Ibig sabihin, may sabi or may salita, may say ang political status ng isang lugar, no? Para malaman natin ano ba ang estado ng mga tao doon pagdating sa pagkain. Okay? Now, population increase has rendered many of these people landless and unable to produce their food. At dahil nangyayari yan, the net tendency is for them to create their own food. Diba? Para mabuhay sila. Kasi, hindi na sila masyado matustusan ng government. Okay. So, what are the components of food na mahalaga? So, we have your macronutrients and micronutrients. I believe I was already discussed with you some of this, kaya mabilis lang dito. When we say macronutrients, these are the big nutrients. Nandiyan ng carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So all of them can provide us energy, but the main source of energy is carbohydrates and should be followed by fats. Yes, protein can provide energy, but protein is not technically designed to produce or to give us energy kasi meron siyang ibang function talaga. Likewise with fats. Kaya lang, mas maganda pa rin, mas okay na pagkuhaan pa rin ng energy ang fats against protein. Another ay mga micronutrients, yung mga maliliit but very helpful like vitamins and minerals. Okay? So, let us focus on proteins. Now, proteins makes up most of the metabolic machinery and cellular structure essential to life. Honestly, the main function of protein is for growth and development. Okay? Kaya yung pagti-tissue repair para tayo lumaki. Kaya nung baby tayo, gatas ng gatas ang pinaiinom sa atin because milk contains high amount of protein. Okay. Now, for those sa may mga ulcer, you are also required to eat small amount of meat para mag-tissue repair ang ulcer. Although sinasabi nila, huwag kang kumain ng marami. Of course, huwag kang kakain ng marami kasi may sugat pa yung iyong stomach or intestine. Kaya since ang intestine at ang stomach ay made up of tissue and tissues are made up of protein material, so kailangan mo ng protein para magkaroon ng tissue repair. Okay? Now, what is the building block? Ano ba ang bumubuo sa protein? Protein is made up of what we call amino acids. So, guro naman narinig din yung salitang amino acids. Now, amino acid is classified into two: essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. When we say essential amino acids, these are group of amino acids that are not synthesized in the human body. That is why you need to get it from the outside. You need to get it from foods which possess those amino acids para mapunta sa'yo. For non-essential, these are classification of acids that you don't need to get it from the outside because your body already synthesized it. Kaya siya tinawag na non-essential. Now, pag essential, there are 9. Pag non-essential, there are 11. But overall, there are 22 amino acids. The other two are not yet classified whether non or essential, but they also play a vital role in the process. Kaya pag ang tinanong sa inyo, how many amino acids? It's 22. Pero ilan ang essential? 9. Ilan ang non-essential? 11. Okay? Now, I want you to research on what are the 9 essentials and the 11 non-essentials. I will not give it here na. So I already giving you the opportunity to search them. Okay? So ganon. Now, talking about essentials, may tinatawag naman tayong complete protein. A protein is said to be complete, especially if it is outside, no? Galing sa labas. Pero yung kinain mo from the labas ay nasa kanya lahat, no? Yung 9 essential acids, 9 essential amino acids. Therefore, meron kang complete protein food kasi nandun lahat. Pag hindi kompleto yung 9, edi incomplete protein. Now, ang tanong, where can you get this complete protein? Sa mga meats. Manok, baboy, baka. Now, some plants can also provide you complete protein. Kaya lang, hindi kasing quality ng galing sa meat. Anong pwedeng source niyan? Soya is the most common. Yung others kasi, although na-identify yung other source of complete protein na plant-based, pero hindi sila common sa Philippines. Like quinoa, buckwheat, yan mga yan. Ang pinaka-common sa atin, soya. Okay? Kaya kung ayaw mong kumain ng meat, uminom ka ng soya. Diba? Para meron kang complete protein intake. Okay? So, ganyan tayo ha. Next. So, we have here the amino acids. At ito yung mga examples of the amino acids. Diba? Ito yung mga examples. I would like to emphasize here, kung sino dito ang umiinom, no, ng Memo Plus. Now, the main, for Memo Plus, pinopromote yan as tatalino ka, di ba? Actually, it's not really tatalino ka, but Memo Plus helps your glutamic acid, no? Glutamic acid is something that is already in the brain. And glutamic acid's function is to, alam mo, yung mental processing. So with the help of the Memo Plus, hindi agad mapapagod yung brain mo sa pag-iisip. Okay? So tutulungan niya yung glutamic acid sa brain mo na mag-function para marami kang ma-review. Hindi mapapagod agad ang utak mo. So hindi po pwedeng puro Memo Plus lang at walang aral. Kailangan may aral. Kasi hindi mag-automatic na pumasok ang lahat sa utak mo. Okay? So that's the thing. Yun doon. Actually, may drug counterpart ang Memo Plus, Glutafos. But I don't know lang kung available pa siya sa market. Okay? So sinasabi natin yan. Next. These are the protein-related disorders. Kwashiorkor, kapag protein lang ang nagkakaproblema sa katawan ng tao. Marasmus, kapag protein and energy na ang nagkakaproblema. Ibig sabihin, sa kwashiorkor, nagkakaroon lang ng nasisira lang yung protein material mo sa body. At ang unang indication niyan, ito, no, akala mo mga matatabang bata, akala mo lang matataba, healthy. Pero yun pala, meron na siyang kwashiorkor. Kaya makikita mo yon kapag siya ay medyo anemic, mahina ang resistensya sa mga infection, pero mataba siya. Mabagal siyang lumaki. Yan. O di kaya nagkakaroon siya ng mental retardation or delay developmental problems. Or developmental problems actually. So baka meron kang kwashiorkor. But in the other side, hindi na lang yung protein ang nagkakaproblema, pati na rin yung energy mo. Ibig sabihin kasi kinukuha ng energy yung protein. In that case, pwede ka magkaroon ng protein energy malnutrition. So marasmus na ang kahantungan mo niyan. At ito naman ang itsura ng isang marasmic child. Butot balat. Okay? So again, these two, protein disorder, kwashiorkor. Protein energy disorder, then marasmus. Now, another is carbohydrates, and this is the most common source of energy. Alam na natin yan. Now, ano ang building blocks ng carbohydrate? Saccharides. So, sugars. So, we have the monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides. Glucose is the sugar form needed by the body. And that is the only sugar read by our cells. Kaya lang, siyempre, ano ba mga carbohydrate-related disorders? Diabetes is a carbohydrate-related disorders. Meaning, hindi siya nababasa ng system, na nanatili siya sa bloodstream, na dapat nawawala siya sa bloodstream at pumapasok siya sa cell. Now, I would like to emphasize also that kung kayo ay kakain, mag-e-exam, you have to eat more carbo than fats. Kasi for carbohydrates, it can only be digested within an hour, while meat kailangan ng 4 hours. The brain will only function if there is enough glucose sa utak. Pag mababa yun, mag-start ka ng mahilo. Diba? So you have your glucose, your table sugar is your sucrose. Your flour and your starch happens to be a sugar also. Pero ang classification niyan ay polysaccharides. Okay? So carbohydrates pa rin sila. Polysaccharides lang ang tawag sa kanila. Now, another important parameter, important molecule is lipids. And I already mentioned to you that lipids ay parang generic term na for kinds of fats. There are 3 kinds of fats. We have triglycerides, phospholipids, and sterols. So triglycerides ang merong fats and oils. Kapag liquid ang fats, oil. Kapag solid, fat. Okay, so ganun kasimple lang. What is the building block of lipids? Fatty acids. Okay, ang building. Sabihin, ang bumubuo sa kanya ay mga fatty acids. Ang bumubuo sa carbohydrate ay sugars. Ang bumubuo sa protein ay amino acids. So, sa lipids tayo, it's fatty acids. Fatty acids ay divided then into 2. Saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. Between the two, healthy ang unsaturated kasi ito yung galing sa mga plant-based fats. Saturated, ito yung galing sa animal-based. Unfortunately, ang saturated ay flavorful, mas masarap, mas matagal ang life, ang shelf life. Pero, unfortunately naman, siya yung, kumbaga, merong negative effect sa health. Unlike with unsaturated, dahil ito ay galing sa plant, sila yung, and in some deep sea fishes, salmon, tuna, yan mga yan, they are good source of unsaturated fatty acids. Ang downside lang ng fatty acids na ito, mabilis masira at hindi sila ganong kalasa. Pero sila yung healthy. Okay? Next, sterols ang mother compound ng cholesterol. Okay, now, cholesterol is something being produced in the body. Hindi na ito kailangan kinukuha pa from the outside. No? And when we are talking about cholesterol, we are talking about 2, bad and good cholesterol. You have the HDL, LDL, but before LDL, VLDL muna. High density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein. So, saan ang gagaling lahat ito? From the liver. Once you, dahil nga sabi ko, binamanufacture mo ang cholesterol sa katawan mo, so there will be times na maglalabas ang katawan mo ng cholesterol in the presence or in the context of VLDL. Lalabas siya sa katawan mo, VLDL. Karga niya ang triglycerides and cholesterol material. So pag data sa bloodstream na, ang gagawin nun, kakalas. So maghihiwalay na yung triglyceride and cholesterol, and then it will now be converted to LDL. Okay, so nasa LDL na tayo. So nandoon na yung mga cholesterols. So at this point, dapat ma-process. Pag hindi na-process yon, yung mga cholesterol na naiwan sa dugo, sila yung magiging plaque. But of course, it will take time. Ngayon, pag halimbawa sobra-sobra na ang mga cholesterol sa katawan, dahil LDL na sila, your body again or your liver will release again a group of cholesterol called HDL. Ang main function naman ng HDL ay kukunin niya yung mga extra cholesterol na ginamit ng katawan mo at ibabalik niya sa liver. Yun ang trabaho niya. Kaya sila tinatawag na good cholesterol. Labas, kukunin, then babalik. Diba? So, ganun ang proseso. Kaya inaalagaan natin ang ating liver because it plays a very important role sa proseso ng digestion and in the whole body system. Okay? Now, another pa ng fats. So, another good purpose ng fats naman, yung fat na fat talaga, yung nakikita natin, mga adipose tissues, is for insulation and organ protection. Pag nasaksak ka, kung mataba ka, hindi ka agad diretso sa organ. Diba? So, ganoon. Kung lamigin ka, kung may aircon at malamig at medyo mataba ka, hindi ka kaagad lalamigin. Okay? Kaya lang this is my thing. If you intend to go for diet, ang diet is specific food. Okay, when you say diet, do not say diet. Diet yan, no. When you say diet, it is a group of food that you eat. No, you specifically eat. Hindi, it doesn't refer to kaunti. It doesn't refer to dami. It refers to the group of foods that you eat. That's the diet. Now, yung mga nagsa-South Beach diet or di kaya nagkikito diet, tandaan, in South Beach diet, ano yan, akala mo gagaan ka, nagpapapayat ka, no? Akala mo gagaan ka kasi ang nawawala sa'yo, water content. So magkakaroon ka ng dehydration. Kaya huwag kang basta-basta nagsa-South Beach. Yung iba naman, they go for keto diet. Keto diet ay somehow should be tawag dito, referred to doctor kung kakayanin ng katawan mo ang keto diet. Kasi ang keto diet ay increasing the level of fats in the diet. For example, simpleng kape, lalagyan mo ng virgin coconut oil. So, hina-heighten mo yung mga fat content. Pero kasi baka hindi kaya ng puso mo at may problema ka sa heart, hindi po pwede ang keto diet sa'yo. Keto diet because may natatawag yung ketone bodies. But this is very biochemistry, so hindi ko naman siya di-discuss. Basta pag nag-usapan sa keto diet ay heightening your fat content so that your body, instead of getting the energy from the carbo, they will get it in the fat. So kapag alam na nila na sapat na sila kukuha, syempre even your stored fat magagamit. Papayat ka. Kasi kakainin na nila pati yung stored fat mo. Because you are telling them, shift ka ng pagkuha ng energy. Not from the carbo, but in the fat. Okay? Next. Minerals, these are mga metals, minute metallic elements, maliliit na amount, but very significant in health. Katulad ng, just to mention a few, calcium, iron, and ang iodine is not a metallic thing, but kinaklasify siya as mineral, no? No, for calcium, syempre, for muscle cramps, bone defects, at pag madali kang mairita, baka meron kang calcium deficiency. Diba? Next, iron deficiency anemia. Now, very prone dito ang mga babae because of menstruation. So, kaya ang mga babae dapat they take in iron supplement para hindi sila magkaroon ng anemia. Okay? At mahirap ang may anemia, minsan mabilis mahilo, matutumba ka na lang. The next one is iodine deficiency. So ito naman ang common, tama nito ay yung goiter, no? Thyroid gland kasi ang nagpo-produce ng iodine. If you don't have enough reserve of iodine, pwede ka magkaroon ng goiter or hypothyroidism. Now, ang tanong, ang sabi nila, the food that is rich in iodine are the shellfishes. Totoo yon. Pero kung meron ka ng iodine issue, kung meron ka ng thyroid gland issue, wala nang hindi na makakatulong sa iyo ang shellfishes. Kahit isang banyera pa ang kainin mo niyan, wala nang mangyayari yan kasi meron tayong thyroid problem. Kaya hangga't wala pa, eat shellfishes in moderation para meron kang enough na iodine reserve from the outside source. Okay? So, tatandaan natin yung mga yan, no? Iodine. So, pag may sakit, gagamutin na yan ng chemotherapy, the iodine 131. So, yun ang pinapainom. Now, another thing, pag meron ka ring iodine issue, do not eat root crops. Sir, bakit? Ang root crops ay nakakatulong, hindi siya nakakatulong per se sa iyong paggaling. Kasi sabi sa gulay yun, oo, gulay. But the function of these root crops to you ay, the effect to you ay kukuhaan ka pa nila ng iodine reserves. Babawasan pa nila kung ano yung iodine na meron ka. Diba? So they will suck some of your iodine sa iyong thyroid. Konti na nga lang kukuhaan ka pa. Kaya do not take in root crops if you know yourself that you have an iodine deficiency. Okay? Now, so eto na. Now, what are the different food groups? Ito yung sinasabi ng mga nutritionists and dietitian that when you eat, dapat may representation ang lahat ng ito in proper amount. So, you have milk and milk products. Pwedeng kapalit kasi yan ng protein material but meron siyang tawag dito, healthy function. Kaya yan, no? For babies, kaya sila unang-unang pinainom para makatulong pa sila sa synthesis of the cerebrocytes. Diba? So next. Meat, fish, and poultry. Actually, ang pinag-usapan dito, pumili ka. Sa food groups, pumili ka meat, fish, or poultry because they are also rich in protein. Vegetables and fruits. Pili ka. Vegetable. Pero sa Pilipinas kasi, we normally take in fruits as for dessert. Diba? So, kaya di masyadong issue sa atin yan. Next is bread and cereals. In the US, okay yan. Pero sa Philippines, kanin tayo. So, pinag-uusapan dito is when you try to take in some food, make sure that merong representation ang lahat na ito. Diba? Siguro baka sa milk, medyo no, dili-dali. But at least yung 2, 3, and 4, meron. Okay? Next ay food additives. It also helps and it also destroy. Kasi since meron mga natural food additives at meron ding commercially available. Ang MSG is not it's not a chemical thing. Ito'y galing sa tubo. Kaya lang may process. MSG is the monosodium glutamate. Ito yung betchin. Okay? So, pag hindi tama ang lagay or meron kang reaction sa betchin, it may cause what we call the Chinese restaurant syndromes. So, para hindi kaya yung system mo, pwede ka magkaroon ng ganyan. Sensitive ka sa betchin. Another is the sodium nitrate or salitre. Ito yung inilalagay sa mga tosino, longganisa para pumula-pula. Sila yan. No? But, ang konsepto ko dyan, baka kayo ay mahilig kumain ng mga sunog like isaw, medyo sunog na tosino, medyo sunog na longganisa. It's a no-no. As much as possible, do not. at nakakainin niyo pa yung sunog kasi the food additives sometimes trigger cancer cell to appear. Take note, cancer is genetic. Pwede yan meron sa pamilya mo at makukuha mo. Di ba? Pero kung wala ka pa, baka matrigger. Pwedeng lumabas. And cancer may appear in various forms. Kung lung cancer ang meron sa family mo, hindi automatic lung cancer sa'yo. Baka tumubo sa iba. Na bakit ko sinabi yung mga sunog? Kasi sila yung mabilis makapag-trigger ng cancer cells because it contains free radicals. And free radicals are very cancer-causing agents. So carcinogenic sila, cancer-causing. Kaya as much as possible, do not indulge yourself too much with this sunog na pagkain. Kasi pwede kang magkaroon ng sakit. Okay? So yun yun. So I think that would be for this topic. So again, I remind you, search on the 9 and the 11 essential and non-essential amino acids. So that will be part of the exam. So thank you.